you guys can see us now. I just want to make sure that we are actually live.
I think we are not actually live. I still haven't seen the live.
We are live actually. I can see us from our YouTube channel now. Looks like
Okay. We are live now.
Yeah, okay. Hi everyone. Welcome back again to another webinar hosted by MindPal founders. I'm Thumb, and together with me is Dong. We are the founders of MindPal. Today's webinar topic would be about building an AI content system for your business. Now, using AI for content seems like a very old topic, isn't it? Like a lot of people have already been using AI for content for years now. Is it too like a quite old topic to talk about? Don, can you share a little bit about why we decided to host this webinar, even though AI content seems like a very solved problem?
I think it's true that when you mention about AI use case, content production is the first use case you think about, because basically you have the large language model is kind of text generation machines. It's produce text for you, and that is the content, and you can just copy it to make the content for you. So I think obviously even the dumbest people think about content creation when they also ask about what is the use case of AI. And I think the majority of content on the internet today is I think mostly AI generated. I can see AI generated content every day on social media, on the comment, even in my post on social media. I can count like 80%, 70% of them is AI, because I work with AI every day, so I can easily classify or estimate or kind of know what sort of AI is written by AI or not. So, but I think that is the problem, because when we have AI content everywhere, the question is that how we can stand out, because we have two solutions. One is that we written by ourselves, like before. But actually, that the problem with that approach is that it will not as effective as AI, and because we can literally create infinite content with AI. And the problem is that how we can create a high quality and consistent content every day, for example, with AI. I think that is a better question, and it should be the goal. We should leverage it as a tool, but we use it effectively, so it can actually create the content that deliver value to the audience and really add some kind of value, not just kind of content to spam people and look like an obvious GPT generated.
Yeah, I really like the way you put that. The problem with using AI to generate content now is that it's very easy to generate content with AI now. That's the beauty and also the ugly thing about it, because that means anyone can create content, but to stand out from like a crowd of so much AI generated content is becoming a big problem. And we have experienced this at MindPal ourselves, because we leverage AI when it comes to producing content for MindPal too. Even though the writing, the generation part itself is easy, the part that takes the most time would be how to set up a system that humans and AI can work together to produce the most high quality and valuable content in a consistent way. That's the goal. And I think that that would be our goal for today's webinar too. We would like to share what we have learned so far about working with AI when it comes to content work. We share all of this based on our experience setting up an AI content system for MindPal ourselves, as well as working with our customers who also have been building AI content systems for their own businesses. And we have seen so many case studies of both successful and failed cases. And we would love to host a little webinar on this topic to share about all of our observations and insights and best practices. So with that, let's get into the main topic of the webinar. I think the structure of the webinar would be very practical. We will talk about three main aspects when it comes to building an AI content system for your business. One is ideation or brainstorming. So how to constantly get ideas, creative and innovative content ideas for your business. Two is production, how to produce the highest possible quality content. And that is still very relevant and meaningful to the business. And three is repurposing. So for each piece of content, especially for content that takes a lot of time and effort in producing, how can we maximize the time investment on each of those pieces of content to leverage them to the fullest. So I will share some AI workflows we have been using at MindPal ourselves, and Tuấn will also share his perspectives on how we can better implement these systems into your own business. Is that okay?
Yeah. But
Sounds
I
like
think
a plan.
But I think before you get started, I think something to note here is that when it comes to building the content system and building the content, I think there are 1,000 ways to build content. It pretty depend on the business. What we cover here is that we abstract every kind of process and the way we observe people into three parts. And what you learn in this webinar is a kind of principle or some fundamental building block on MindPal that you can have the knowledge to construct your own system.
That is very important because since AI content is getting so cheap nowadays, the way that each business set up their own AI content system would become a very the differentiator thing here too. I and you, we are both using the same language models, Claude, GPT, Gemini, etc. If we also use the same generic prompts, the output will not be any better than some other people out there also using the same system. So the key, your business context, your unique business context, business requirements, and your domain expertise would shine in this case. With your with all of your unique understandings and insights, you can translate it onto the AI, teach the AI those things, and they would be able to produce content that is more unique to your case. And that will differentiate you from the competitors. I love that intro. Now let me share about how we at MindPal use use AI for content idea generation, and that would be the first topic we talk about today. Let me quickly bring up this workflow. So this is actually a very simple but super helpful AI workflow that we have been using to generate content ideas for MindPal. This is an AI multi-agent workflow built on MindPal, and it's super simple. It just has 2 steps. We provide some YouTube video link, and this workflow will first extract the key points from the video. Then it will brainstorm ideas, potential content ideas across different formats, formats that we at MindPal often do, but based on the insights from that video. So the thing is, for MindPal ourselves, we are working in a very exciting field. It's new, so people have been talking about it all the time. And every day there would be some new discussion on YouTube about this topic related to how to use AI for business. So we watch those videos a lot. And for these videos, we will put it into this AI workflow, and it will help suggest content ideas that we can that we can have, like, and be inspired by the YouTube video that we put it. So for example, this is this is one of the videos we put in, and it will first extract the key points from the video like this. So cover all the key points, and then based on the insights from the video, and also based on the AI's understanding of MindPal, our platform, our product, it suggests these 10 different content ideas covering different content formats: blog posts, video tutorial, webinar, social media, interactive quiz that we at MindPal can do. That still resonate with our business. And some of the ideas here are actually pretty useful, and we adopt at MindPal ourselves. For example, like this, I really like this, like an infographic about the benefits of no-code AI automation. This topic sounds like obvious to us, but we found that talking about this is actually very helpful to a lot of beginners. So we also start producing more infographics on topic like this too. Or this one, interactive quiz: which AI agent is right for your business? This one is also very interesting, because one of the marketing channels that we do at MindPal is to produce some free tools on our website that people can use for free. And it's also a chance for them to get to know about MindPal. In the past, we have produced a lot of different mini tools like free tool, idea generator, etc. So this interactive quiz, which AI agent is right for your business, is very aligned to what we are doing at MindPal, and also something we have already been doing. So this is a great idea. I really like this. So with this AI workflow, we have been we almost never run out of content ideas. Every day, every time there's a new discussion on YouTube about AI for business, we would get like tens of content ideas like this. Some maybe not very good, but some are actually pretty interesting and usable for us. So that's how we have been leverage this AI workflow for content idea generation. Tuấn, can you share your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I actually this is a workflow I built myself last month. The YouTube to get idea from YouTube videos from MindPal. And the reason I use this workflow originally is that I always think that I always believe that the best content produced should be original and bold from ourselves. And in my observation, that is true. But the problem is that it's always better if we can have a kind of an idea hub. And if someday we start with brainstorming new idea, we can look at the other to see what other people are doing, and some way we can build our own version of that, and it will be helpful. And actually the way I set up this workflow is that actually besides this workflow on MindPal, I have a system to every day crawling YouTube and filter out every single YouTube video that have more than 20,000 views in that day, and then put it into this workflow and run automatically every day via the MindPal API, and then send an email after that for me to report for me. And Sylvia, if you zoom out to the agent of the second step in this workflow, actually I change this agent to make sure it know about MindPal. So it always try to look at the angle and the perspective in the videos it is watching to fit with what we are doing, to make sure that I got the idea that truly resonates with my audience, even though I can only take, for example, 20 to 30% of the idea here, but I can get it for a very it cost me literally one AI credit or two AI credit to run this workflow, and the marginal cost is two AI credit for potentially 2 or 3 ideas I can use in practice, and I can run it 100 times a day, and I can get like 20 or 30 ready to go idea with this kind of workflow, and it will reduce the stress to always brainstorming new idea in a team. And I think that is why it is useful. And actually in practice, for example, there are some idea actually work. For example, there's an idea originals. The first item is this list. The AI agent in business, the infographic, and the blog post by AI agent in Generative. I built that blog post on MindPal, and I built an infographic to show some AI agent and how it's moving in Generative. Originally, I think it's kind of an obvious idea, but it worked. It worked, and it starts bringing traffic to us. Since this year, when we can produce new SEO blog posts every day on the system. So I think that is a very useful way to reduce the stress of always need to brainstorming ideas, and then we can get some really helpful and practical and ready to go ideas. And another thing to note here that we can actually not just YouTube, we can brainstorm idea from Instagram link, Facebook link, viral Twitter thread, or LinkedIn, or some viral blog post that is on trending. We can set up a system to scrape all of that and dump into this kind of workflow, the same setup, but just replace the YouTube by Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn or Twitter, and we get a list of ideas like that.
Yeah. Someone from the chat section also mentioned that we can generate ideas, content ideas from RSS feed too. To be honest, I don't work with RSS feed a lot, so I don't have a lot of experience like about it. But I think the same principles can be applied to an RSS feed too. Like if you can if there's an API or something like that help connect the RSS feed to MindPal, then you can totally set up the system like this same AI workflow can get the original information from the RSS feed, and it will brainstorm the content ideas based on that RSS feed. new posts, right?
Yeah.
And there's we will have a little Q&A section at the end of the webinar. So if you guys have any questions, just drop it in the chat, and we will make sure to get to them by the end of the webinar. Now, I think we have discussed how to set up a system to produce content ideas for us to never have to keep thinking about content ideas all the time. Right? The key thing here is that you should teach the AI agent the business context of your own. So you should give some knowledge sources on your business so it knows what your business does. And if possible, you can like teach it exactly what are the channels you care about, so that the content ideas generated by the agent will be actually relevant and useful to your case. And remember, the thing here, the point here is that we don't have to be perfect. The agent doesn't have to be perfect all the time. The thing here is that if you have like 100 ideas every day, that means there would be a very high chance that 20 or 30% of those ideas could become like very, very good ideas, right? So yeah, so that's I think that's what you should keep in mind when tackling the ideation problem when it comes to content marketing with AI. Now, after we have the content ideas in place, now comes the production part. So how you can use AI for content generation? Well, with MindPal, what we do is that we structure our content system into different categories. And then we document how humans, how our team often do each kind of content manually, the whole process. And then we translate that into a multi-agent workflow on MindPal that can follow the same process like a human does and produce that for us. So we have many different content streams. Actually, we have YouTube, we have blog posts, social media, and many more. But for today's webinar, I can share with you 2 AI workflows we have been using every day. And these are for SEO blog posts. So essentially, we have a blog post section on MindPal. We write the blog post topics diverse a lot, but they can be categorized into 2 main themes, 2 main types. The first type is a blog post that digs deeper into one specific use case of AI for business. And then we will showcase how to use an AI workflow on MindPal for that use case. And that category is what we call the MindPal AI workflow marketing content generator. So it generates the marketing content for one specific AI workflow template on MindPal. And the second AI workflow, the second category of blog posts that we do is MindPal AI system blog posts. And it's also a blog post, but the type is different. In this type, what we do is that we do not just talk about one specific use case. We actually talk about a whole system that consists of multiple AI workflows that are grouped under a theme. So for each blog post like this, we often cover like 4 to 5 or 7 different AI workflows under the same theme. So these two are the two main types of SEO blog posts we are doing at MindPal right now. And after we have structured them into the categories like that, we build different AI workflows that understand our unique way of producing the blog posts, and then we can reuse the workflow over and over again for different ideas. For example, for the AI workflow blog post generator, like single AI workflow blog post, this is our typical process. So essentially, we would provide the business use case in this case, the target audience, what are the people who most benefit from this use case, the AI workflow description. So a quick an overview of the AI workflow built on MindPal that can be used for this business use case, the link to try the AI workflow too. And then we have these 8 steps to write eight smaller sections of the blog post, because this is a very comprehensive blog post. We have a structure for that. We have the introduction section. Then we have the body sections that will dig deeper into this use case step by step. It first like explain the use case in detail, then explain how AI can be helpful in this specific use case, what kind of AI solutions are available, and how AI multi-agent workflow can be used in this case. And then it gives a step-by-step guide on how to implement an AI multi-agent workflow for this use case. Then it suggests some ideas to further optimize the AI workflow in practice. And then it will show you how to start using this AI workflow for your business today. And then it ends with a conclusion for the blog post. And as you can see here, one thing you can notice here is that I actually have 2 agents for this writing process. I have one dedicated agent to write the introduction here, because I think the introduction of the blog post is very important. So I just train a very fine-tuned AI agent to write introduction for the blog post that I use for all the blog posts I write. And then I have a general AI workflow blog post writer that will write all of the other sections of the blog post here that I use for all the last 7 sections. And yeah, so, and that means I train the, this is because for the blog post writer, the instructions and the requirements for the blog post writer are often stay the same. The only thing that changes here is which section I would like the blog post writer to write. So that's why I'm able to use the same agent for different sections. So it's just the same agent here, but the prompt is different. So the prompt for the use case articulation section will be different from the prompt for the why AI for this use case section, and on and on. So that's how I built this AI workflow, and it's been working quite well. So and then after I got the blog post in place, I have an SEO keywords to help me research some keywords that would to be included in the blog post. I have this blog post metadata to prepare some metadata that will accompany the blog post when I publish it on our website. So things like the URL path of the blog post, the title of the blog post, the short description, etc. And then I also don't forget to add some of my social media post creators to prepare the social media posts promoting this blog post too. So with this AI workflow setup, this is an example of how it works. So like this is one of the examples where I provided the information about the AI workflow use case. And then it helps me write the introduction, use case articulation, and many more. It will finish all the information here. And as you can see here, it also refers to our website. So it is able to write a very tailored content like this, thanks to the knowledge sources that I trained the agent on to. So the agent always have the context about MindPal in order to write a blog post that always refer to MindPal and mention MindPal seamlessly throughout. And then it also helps me with preparing the LinkedIn post, Twitter thread, and Facebook posts. And all of these social media posts are trained on MindPal brand voice too, to make sure that it's writing content that matches the writing style that we want. Yeah, so that's how we structure the AI workflow for the first category of the blog post that we do. Before I move on, Tuấn, is there anything you would like to share in this case?
Yeah, I think you can share more about how you structure the agent to write stuff in the brand voice that you are referring, and I think in each of the prompt of each part you have the rules for AI to flow, and maybe you can share more about those prompts and how people can come up with these rules when they write a prompt.
Yeah, I see. That's a great idea. So, for example, let me take this step as an example. So for this step, I asked the AI to write about the why AI for this use case section on the blog post, and this is done by this AI workflow how to blog post writer agent I have built. And two things that make or break this AI agent step. One is the brand voice that I add to this AI agent. I think here. You can actually on MindPal, you can actually train your AI to follow a brand voice that you want. And what you can do is that you can paste some content, sample content of good content that the AI can learn from, and then MindPal will automatically analyze the brand voice and teach the agent to mimic that brand voice when it writes the content for you. So like when it comes to blog posts, I have a dedicated blog post style that I add to the AI agent like this to make sure that it's always writing in the conversational, casual, yet informative and descriptive style that I want. And another thing is that I make sure you provided enough knowledge sources and context to the prompt of the AI agent too. So for example, for this AI this AI agent, I have provided it some rules here. In the design output format, I ask it that if you include any YouTube video link, you must convert to the embed link format. This is because on MindPal we have a CMS that if you put the embed link of YouTube, it will automatically embed the YouTube video on our website. So that's why I put it as a rule here, so the AI agent always remember. So this rule is a fixed and shared rule. I always want the agent to remember this rule, so I put it right inside this agent setup so that it always remember this. But I also like for each section of the blog post, I also provided more instructions on how to write each section too. So for example, for this specific section, I provided these rules here. But like for other sections, so for example, I think for this sections, why AI multi-agent workflow, I also make sure to provide some more context about the what are the common AI solutions in this case, and an explanation of why AI multi-agent workflow is superior, and so that the AI will refer to when it write the actual content. And these prompts are actually very unique to MindPal. And the way I come up with the prompts is also thanks to a period of trial and error. So at first, when I build this AI workflow at first, it often takes a couple of runs for me to understand how the AI often behave, what it often misses, and what it's good at, so I can add more instructions to the prompt as needed. So this is an iterative process. I start with some initial setup of the workflow and keep adding more instructions to the prompt as I work with the AI workflow more. Yeah. So is there Tuấn, you are also contributing to building the AI content system for MindPal. Is there anything else you think should be highlighted in this case when training AI agents for content production?
Yeah, I think for the production part, the way we should think about it is that the first thing is that what are our main content pillar. We categorize into some of the channels that is the main channels, because we have some main channels and we have some not very important channels that we will repurpose the content to. And a lot of business will have very different main content channels. There are some kind of business where TikTok or short videos will be the main content channels. But for MindPal, YouTube content, long form content, and blog post content are the two main content channels. And we always build those things first before we repurpose into the other. And when it's come to the main content channel like that, we will start to break down. For example, in this channel, we often produce what kind of contents. And like you said, the thinking process when we create a workflow is that, okay, we have this content, and this content, what is the component of this content? For example, blog post contain the introduction, some of the different components in the bodies, in the conclusion. And for example, in MindPal case, we include the workflow embedding and the YouTube video tutorial for exact that use case in the blog post. So we have that section too. So, but the idea is that we break down into some smaller parts, and then we build a workflow to tackle every single component like that, and we build an agent dedicated to that component. It could be the same agent like you show to people here. If the structure is quite similar, but I think the best thing is that we leverage the best agent for that component, and then we train them all to produce things, and we handle the logistic after that. For example, with the blog post, the logistic after producing content is the uh, uh, metadata like title, slug, some keyword to highlight the short description. And even if you scroll down in this workflow, we even have the webhook to automatically send this workflow run result to the automation platform like Make to auto publish into our website thanks to the metadata. So that is the whole process for creating a piece of content in production that I think will be applicable to every kind of business. We break down each component and its logistic after that, and we build each agent for each component. It still need to refine when we adjust the prompting. For example, we need to add some knowledge source. For example, we add some knowledge source about MindPal, so it's always seamlessly mention MindPal in the result, like you show to people. We add the brand voice, so it will always consistently write in that kind of writing style that we want to it right too, and we highlight some of the rules it need to follow when it's right, because for example, in our case, we want the syntax of the YouTube to be exactly like that, to be embeddable. So I think to summarize, that is the zero idea how we construct the production system.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much for the quick recap of the key things to remember when it comes to building an AI system like this to produce the content for you. So this is how I have shown you how we build this AI workflow to produce one category of SEO blog post on MindPal, which is a single AI use case. And then following the same principles, I also build this AI workflow for another category of MindPal blog posts, which is a collection of AI use cases grouped under a theme. And as you can see here, one interesting thing to note is that I'm using the same AI agents in this case. Like, can you see that like this is still the MindPal AI workflow how to blog post introduction writer. And this is a blog post writer that I used in the previous workflow. I'm reusing the AI agents here because once I have trained these AI agents on how they should write blog posts, they become very good. So I don't have to retrain them again. I just put them into a different process. The context, the expected output is different, but the principles of generating a good blog post stay the same. So that's why I'm reusing the same agents, but put them into a different category of blog posts with a different outline, as you can see here, and it's still working very well. Thanks to the setup of the agent behind it. And yeah, so this is so these are two examples of the AI workflows we have been using at MindPal for production, for content production. Now, I think the last topic we would like to cover is repurposing. So it's a topic that people also discuss a lot when it comes to content creation, because there are some particular kinds of content that take a lot of time to produce. For example, webinars, like we often do for MindPal. They are very long. They take a lot of time and effort. So for each time we run a webinar like this, our natural tendency is that we would want to maximize the time and effort investment we have put in hosting a webinar like this, and we can like repurpose the content of the webinar into multiple formats and post for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that's what this AI workflow on MindPal did. This is the webinar recap generator that I have built for ourselves at MindPal, and also for many other customers who also run webinars or podcasts at their business. Essentially, what this AI multi-agent workflow does is that I can provide a YouTube link to it about the webinar. This is a YouTube link because we often run webinars on YouTube. So there's always a link afterwards that I can put it here. But in case you don't run webinars on YouTube, you can always change this to file so that this AI workflow can take file as the input instead of a link. Or you can also, some people prefer to provide the transcript of the webinar instead of the recording. So you can change it to text too. So it's up to you to decide how you would want the AI workflow to process the input. And then after that, this AI workflow will like transcribe the webinar, but it will also repurpose the webinar content into different formats that you can use. Like, for example, it can extract memorable quotes for posts here. It can extract sections. So you can break down that big webinar into separate YouTube videos to repost, or it can extract snippets for short clips. It can write caption for the short clips. It can write social media posts from the webinar recording. It can write recap email. It can turn the content into an ebook here, and even write a blog post about the content. So much content can be generated from the original piece of content that you put here. Now, I think this technique is very, very important, because my favorite part about repurposing content is that the original content is almost always very original. So for example, every time we run a webinar like this, the topic may be similar, but because we get to interact with the customers, we are able to share more original insights, things that we often don't share on social media, or things that we often don't explicitly say enough. So after every webinar, there are almost always insights that are very precious and very original for us. So when we repurpose the webinar into different pieces of content, the repurposed content also becomes very original because the original content is already valuable on its own. So that's my favorite part about repurposing content from webinars like this. And what I have seen people doing is that they take the similar workflow setup here, but they customize this setup for their own business, they will change this a bit to match with the kinds of channels and formats these businesses often have. Like some people may require LinkedIn posts. Some may not need LinkedIn. Some may need Instagram or other channels. So the key thing here is that you should understand which channels your business need, and then you can add those channels, bring those channels here as different steps, and have your AI agents already trained for each channel, writing the post for you. Yeah, and then following this same principle of repurposing content, you can build an AI multi-agent workflow for almost any other kind of content that you want to repurpose. It could be a YouTube video, like every time you have a new YouTube channel, a YouTube video on your channel, you can repurpose it to multiple forms of content. Or it could be a blog post. After you have written a very wonderful blog post, you can repurpose it into different channels too. Or it could be something else. It could be an ebook and many more. So you can follow the same principle, like taking one piece of content and having multiple agents trained for different channels, repurpose that original content into different formats for you. So I can show you one example of this. Like this is an example of that webinar recap generator. I can provide the link here. It will transcribe for me, generate the timestamps, the first comment, memorable quotes, sections for separate YouTube videos, snippets for short clips here, recap social media posts, recap email, ebook here, and also a blog post. Yeah. So like this AI workflow will take just minutes for each webinar, and yet you will have so much content that you can use for the next 1 or 2 or 3 weeks. So for this specific use case, repurposing, Tuấn, is there anything you would like to share?
I think repurposing is a kind of task that AI naturally good at that task in case you have the good original content. What I mean is that AI is no struggle when it have to create from 0 to 1 content. For example, if you experience even when you use a single agent, for example, you use in Claude or chatgpt, it will always be better if you can draft what you want to say, and it will be better if you can kind of write something for me, given this draft, and here's my draft. It's incorrect grammar, a lot of grammar mistake, a lot of misspelling things, but a kind of draft for AI to know that part is will write better. And in the case of repurposing, when we already have some kind of good content, AI will be very excellent in the way it can transfer that part of content into different format. I have seen a lot of cases. For example, when I have a blog post, I want to repurpose it into a carousel post to post on LinkedIn or Instagram. I want to extract some small part into it so I can produce some kind of short video with some image generation on TikTok. I put that script into aiagent with my face to do that, or I can generate a pretty good LinkedIn summary for that blog post. And I think that use case you share also an example. If we have a good podcast already or a good webinar already, extracting the memorable code inside that podcast is a kind of task that AI cannot do wrong. It extracts the right code and it just do the job, and it will not try to invent anything here. It just have to do the job more efficient, and it will very excellent at this kind of task. And we will save, I think, hour of work when we use AI in this way.
Yeah, I agree. And the key thing about so these kinds of process are pretty easy for the AI to do, right? But the key thing here is that make sure you have trained the AI agents on your brand voice or on your business context so that it have like all the necessary understanding in order to write the post well. So it will surely be able to repurpose the content for you. But if you train it on your brand voice, etc., it will write even better and more usable content for you. So make sure to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have covered all the key three topics for today. I think we can have some time for Q&A before we conclude the section.
Yeah. We have the question both from the form when people signing up and the question in the YouTube here. So we will answer each of the question one by one. So in the form, there are a lot of questions in the forms when people signing up, but there are a lot of questions not relating to the content production. So I will skip the question for the asking the question. I can summarize people asking about how to use tools on MindPal and how to sell the workflow, how to add payment. We have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel about that topic. You just need to search how to sell the workflow or how to use tools feature. We have a webinar previously dedicated for just using tools. So please take a look at those videos. Today's video focus exclusively on content production. So there are multiple questions about this topic, but I can summarize. One question is that what are the key things we need to configure to make actually good content on MindPal? So I think the question is, what are some of the checklists, on setting, configuring AI agent and AI workflow for that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Let me quickly I think to answer the question, I can I can share my screen about how to construct an AI agent for writing content and walk you through each of these. Let me quickly bring up my my screen. Okay, so for example, this is the AI agent I have built for writing blog posts. In this, for an AI agent setup like this, there are a few key aspects you should pay attention to. First, is the system prompt or the background and the design output format of this agent. So this is where you should specify the identity of the agent, the job description for this agent to make sure it understands what it's doing. And in the design output format, make sure you have shared all of the expectations or the rules or the things the agent should know when it write the content for you. Don't assume that the agent knows everything, especially if that thing isn't common knowledge. You should be very explicit and specific about what exactly you want the agent to do for you. So for example, in my case, one of the rules I make sure the agent know is that it shouldn't mention the concept of AI multi-agent workflow right from the start. It needs to articulate the problem first before convincing people to use AI multi-agent workflow as a solution. So this is very crucial because we need to hook the attention of the reader, and we need to explain to them and relate with them first before we throw all the technology or terms about the topic, which could scare them away. So this is a very important rule that AI by itself may not know. So I make sure I put it right in the design output format here so that it always remember this when it write the content for me. So this is just one example. I obviously have put a lot of more rules here. So that's one thing, the system prompt. The other thing is the knowledge of this AI agent. So you should train the AI agent on any knowledge sources that you have for your business, especially the ones that are relevant to the job of the AI agent, to make sure that the AI agent always remember and refer to your company's knowledge sources in order to produce meaningful content. That's also another crucial aspect. Another thing is obviously the brand voice of the agent, because the AI agent for content, its job is to write the content. So you need to make sure it's writing in the writing style that you want, and also it will help the AI agent being able to write content that matches your branding more. But at the same time, it will help the AI agent to write content that is more unique and original and less robotic and AI-like, more like in this case. So make sure you connect a brand voice to this AI agent, and it's super simple. Like all you need to do is to paste some sample content for the AI agent, and it will learn about that style and mimic it on its own. You don't have to do anything else. And then there we have the model settings. This is also very crucial because different models have different strengths, and there are models better at some things than the other. And when it comes to writing content like blog posts or social media, my go-to model is always Claude 3.5 Sonnet. I still think it's the best when it comes to writing content that needs to match a specific writing style like this. However, I also found that for content that is more technical or structured, sometimes like O1 from OpenAI is better, or sometimes even Gemini, right? From Google is also quite good at writing more technical content. So you can actually, on MindPal, you have access to all of these models, so you can you can try them. You can even try 3 different AI models to see which one is the best when it comes to your use case and your business, because you may have different requirements from us, and you may have different preferences from us too. So make sure you try them out and make your decision here. You're not limited to any choice, so you can try them out and pick the best one that you want. And yeah, so those are the main aspects people need to remember when it comes to building an AI agent for content creation. Of course, there's another thing that I haven't talked about here, tools. But I think tools are not necessary for content generation, like text content generation, like blog posts, but tools will be very beneficial when it comes to research steps or generation of multimedia content like image or video. Because on MindPal, you can connect to different tools, like for example, search news and blog articles, or search with a specialized research tool like Tavily or Exa or something else. So you can bring those tools inside MindPal here and connect them here. And the AI agent will be able to use those tools when it does the research for you. Or you can also connect this AI agent to tools like Generate Image with Flux or DALL-E or Recraft or Ideogram or Together AI, or even connect to HeyGen to generate the video. So the AI agent will be able to use these tools for generate more types of content like that.
Yes.
Those are the key aspects that you need to you should keep in mind when building an AI agent for content generation.
Yeah, we have some question on YouTube also, so let's quickly answer each question on YouTube. So there's a question I think both from just and Zoni Bravo on if MindPal could be white label or the chatbot functionality on MindPal. So on the white label part, unfortunately, we are not providing the white label for MindPal right now, but we pretty open in the future. For the past, for the last year, we have been focusing on building and refining, improving MindPal to serve our customer the best. But we understand white label is a part of the white label as a partnership is a way to expand our market. So we will definitely have a plan for that. And when we get a plan for that, we will inform to everyone. And for the chatbot feature, we have a video on our YouTube channel on chatbot, how to build a chatbot on MindPal in 100 seconds. You can search the keyword chatbot on MindPal and you will see that video.
Yeah, and I would like to add more to the question about white labeling too. We don't provide, we don't have an official white labeling program right now. But I think depending on your needs, you can check out our team workspace too, because our team workspace has a partial white labeling feature. Actually, for a paid team workspace, you can actually remove MindPal name out of your workspace, as well as choose your own theme color for the workspace, different from the purple color default, the default purple color of MindPal. And you can also add your own logo too, and remove MindPal logo. So like the domain is still MindPal now, for now. So it's just partial white labeling. But I have found that a lot of customers have already been leveraging our team workspace feature to sell AI agents and workflows to their clients already. The idea is that you can create a team workspace and add your own name, add your own logo and your own color to match your branding more. And then you can build AI agents and multi-agent workflows inside that team workspace, and then invite your clients or your customers inside that team workspace who can run the AI agents and workflows you have built. And on MindPal, we also have the feature called access control. So you can actually define which AI agents or workflows a specific user has access to. And you can also limit the AI credits consumed per month by the user. So that would be helpful in case you want to sell the AI agents and workflows you have built on MindPal to others. So definitely check that out and see it for yourself.
Yeah. We have another question on how we can create interactive quiz on MindPal.
Actually, it will also depends on your exact use case. I don't know the specifics yet, but I have seen some forms of this. So essentially, with the multi-agent workflow feature on MindPal, you can add human input steps, right? So and you can add multiple questions inside the human input step, as well as you can also add multiple human input steps too. So you can add human input steps in between AI agent steps. So what I have seen some customers building some tests and quizzes that they share with their audience this way. So essentially, they build an AI workflow that takes in the answers from people based on a set of questions, and then they have the AI do the analysis, do the scoring, recommendation, consultation, etc. on their behalf based on some knowledge sources or some guideline provided by the builder. And it's like I have seen some personality tests done this way. I have seen some like skill gap analysis done this way. So it's like a survey sent to the employees to fill out their answers and then evaluate their understanding and identify the gaps of their skills and recommend a roadmap on what they can learn to get on with the job and things like that. So I think depending on what kind of interactive quiz you want to build, you can consider that approach.
Yeah. There's another question on how can we automatically run the workflow on schedule so it can grab the fresh content every day.
So right now, MindPal, the current version of MindPal doesn't have the feature to schedule the workflow runs yet. But we understand that it's a very important feature. So we are working on that feature and we'll release it in the next version of MindPal, where you would be able to schedule the runs of these AI workflows on a regular basis.
So I think there is another question here. I think we can have some quick answer. there's a question about how to train an agent on MindPal.
I think we have already talked about that. We have covered the key aspects of an AI agent on MindPal.
Yeah.
I think
Another
that's
question is that what is the limitation on the number of token or what we can put into the prompt, especially in the background and the design output format of an agent and in the knowledge source training.
Yeah, I think you can help clarify this.
Basically, it will within the context length of the model. But here's the formula for you to calculate that. So every model will have a thing called the context length as a max output token, and the limit that you can put into the prompt and the knowledge source is equal to the context length of the model minus the max token you set on that large language model. For example, you have you set the model to be GPT-4o, for example. That model have 128,000 token on the context length. And if you set the max output token to be 8,000, the remaining 120,000 token will be the limit for the document training, the prompt, and the background and the design output format. So it's actually quite a lot. I think not quite a lot, a very lot, a lot of space for you to put the prompt into that part. Because a 100,000 token mean like 100 or even 1,000 pages of content. So it's gonna be quite enough for you guys to put the prompt, the background and the design output format. For the document, you can dump like every document you have, and the MindPal system in the backend will be able to selectively limit the number of context for the model to continue generate the response for you without breaking the limit of the context length of the model. Yeah, I see there's some question about conditional logic on the workflow. Yeah, conditional logic is a thing that we will release in the new version. Okay, I think there is just one more type of question I see a lot in the form. Is that it's diverse, but I can summarize those questions in this way. So when we build content, there's a lot of time we build content in the back and forth way. Like we build the content, but then we refine the content. We want to rewrite the content. We want to make some edit, and for example, we have some agent to brainstorm idea, but how we can select the idea for the next agent to rise, and then after it rise, how it can be edited. I think that is the question, how we can do that with the back and forth and non-linear kind of workflow like that on my part.
That's a great question. To answer that, I think I would like to share an example workflow here. So the key thing is that there's a technique that we call human in the loop that you can leverage to enable the back and forth interaction between human and AI when working in a AI multi-agent workflow environment like this. So essentially, what it means is that the AI multi-agent workflow is a chain of different AI agents working together, right? But you can, did you know that you can actually add human input step anywhere throughout the AI workflow here so that the AI workflow will pause when it needs human input, it will request human input and wait for your input before continuing. So for example, I have this blog post generator workflow that based on some initial input of mine, it will brainstorm the blog post ideas. And then I have a human input step right after that to select a blog post idea to move forward with. So in the brainstorming part, it may suggest like 10 different blog post ideas here, but I just want one final blog post to move forward with. So I can add this human input step. And when I run this workflow, the workflow will pause at this position to wait for my selected blog post idea input before moving on to do the research and then write the outline, write the draft. And as you can see here, I also have the feedback step from human to provide some feedback optionally to the AI. So the AI can refine the blog post and do the rest of the steps here. So that's a simple yet very powerful technique that you can use human in the loop, human steps in the middle of AI agent steps. And this is an example. Like for example, this AI workflow when it runs, when I provide some topic like this, it helped me brainstorm different blog post ideas here. And then it will pause, ask for my selected blog post idea. And I choose the selected idea here, and it will move on to the next step only after I have provided the selected blog post idea. And then there's also one thing you should note is that you actually when you write content with AI agent on MindPal, you can always edit and regenerate the content of the output in case you don't feel like it's satisfying. So we don't see the regenerate option here because this workflow run is created by a form submission on the outside of the app. So that's why we don't see a regenerate button from inside the app here. But for all the other for a normal workflow run, you will see a regenerate button here that you can use to regenerate the content based on some prompts or instructions or feedback you have for the AI. Or you can also edit the content any way you want. And so you can fine tune, refine the content in so it matches your expectations more. But one thing you should keep in mind is that as soon as you find yourself repeating the same instructions to the AI, you should put those instructions inside the agent setup so that the agent will always remember those instructions the next time, so you don't have to repeat them over and over again.
I think there is another thing you forget to mention is that you can actually run this workflow in the Smart Note and in the Canvas. So you can make some real-time edit to the workflow run. And you can even run the workflow in the supervised mode. So you can make any others on the results of a step before it proceeds to the next step.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. So besides what I have shared here, besides the human in the loop and the regenerate capability of MindPal, there's a couple of more things that will help you with this. One feature is when you run a workflow on MindPal like this, you can actually you can turn this on, require approval for each step. And what it does is that the AI workflow will always ask for your approval for after each step before continuing. So for example, like let me quickly run this. For example, if I put the same input here, like topic AI for business, and then I can start this workflow with the and it will start with brainstorming the blog post ideas for me, and then I can approve it to start the brainstorm blog post ideas. And then it will do the research and suggest the blog post ideas for me. But before it move on to the next step, it actually also asks me like if I want to approve the next step. So it always pause for my approval like that. So I will have ample time to review the previous output, make any necessary edits before approving the next step to run. So that's the idea about the require human approval before each step mode that you can use on MindPal. Another thing that you can use is that you can actually run the AI workflow in the format of a canvas on MindPal. And actually, I think if you are interested in learning more, you can find a video on our YouTube channel that dives into this topic. I don't think we have enough time to show this in detail, but essentially with this canvas feature, you can run the AI workflow in infinite canvas. So it would be more flexible for you to call multiple AI agents and run multiple AI workflows in the same page, on the same page. So yeah, you can check it out if you want.
Yeah, I think that is the final question we have today. I think we have another question. Where's the link for the Canvas video? You can search on our YouTube channel Canvas keyword, and it should show you the webinar we have on Canvas and the video showing the Canvas feature. It is it is not very difficult to use feature. It is a blank canvas, blank whiteboard, when you can run the multi-agent workflow on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that concludes today's webinar about building an AI content system for your business. We hope that you have walked away with more insights and lessons on how to implement an effective content machine for your business with AI. Again, the replay for this webinar will be available on YouTube in case you want to refer to it afterwards. And thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope to see you again in our next webinars that we will dive into more use cases of AI for business like this. Yeah. Thank you for your time, and please have a great day, and see you soon for our next webinars. Goodbye.
Goodbye.